Sometimes, the best thing you can do for your future is to disappear, not from the world then, but from its noise. You disappear from fake friends. You disappear from empty scrolling. You disappear from comfort, gossip, and meaningless chatter. You vanish quietly and into your purpose, into your thoughts, into your becoming. Napoleon Hill once said, "You are the master of your fate, the captain of your soul." But to become that master, you must first detach. You must disappear to reappear as someone unrecognizable, because every great transformation in history started in silence, not applause, not attention, silence. We live in an age where everyone wants to be seen. Every meal, every move, every emotion are posted, shared, and judged. But being seen isn't the same as being understood. People chase visibility because they think it means value. But the truth? Real value grows in the dark. The seed that becomes a tree does not grow under the spotlight. It grows underground, hidden, quiet, alone. That's what disappearing means. It means stepping away from noise, not to escape life, but to create it. Napoleon Hill called this the power of controlled attention. He said, concentration of effort is the habit of directing one's entire attention upon one definite objective at a time. When you disappear, you redirect your attention inward. You stop reacting to the world and start building your own. Silence is not weakness. It's strength that doesn't need validation. When you go silent, people will talk. They'll say you changed. They'll say you're distant. Let them. Because silence is where transformation begins. Hill believed that every man must go through a period of temporary defeat before success. He wrote, "Before success comes in any man's life, he is sure to meet with much temporary defeat, and perhaps some failure." Do you know what most people do during that time? They panic. They complain. They seek attention to numb the pain. But the wise, they disappear. They use defeat as fuel. They build in the shadows, and when they return, they don't need to announce it. Their results speak louder than their words. When you finally vanish from meaningless circles, you'll realize something shocking. The world doesn't stop. The people you tried so hard to impress keep scrolling. The ones who laughed at you forget your name, and life goes on. That realization hurts. But it's also freedom. You no longer live for attention. You live for alignment. Napoleon Hill once said, "Your big opportunity may be right where you are now." But most people miss that opportunity because they're too busy watching others live. When you disappear, you give yourself permission to stop watching on and start doing. Think about it. A caterpillar doesn't post its cocoon stage on social media. It disappears, and the next time the world sees it, it's flying. Disappearing is not quitting, it's metamorphosis. You don't owe explanations for your silence, because true transformation doesn't need witnesses. Hill believed that your subconscious mind works best in stillness. He wrote that it acts upon dominating thoughts that are constantly fed to it. So when you withdraw from noise, you finally gain access to that mind. The one that can create, heal, attract, and build anything. Your silence becomes sacred. Your solitude becomes strength. You begin to see the difference between motion and progress. The crowd moves. But you evolve. When you disappear, you don't just leave the world, you leave behind a version of yourself. The one addicted to validation. The one afraid of being alone. The one who confuses visibility with value. That version must die for your higher self to live. Napoleon Hill called this transmutation, the art of converting negative energy into creative force. He said every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. Disappearing is how you plant that seed. Every heartbreak, every failure, every humiliation, you take it, bury it deep within, and let it grow into wisdom. You stop explaining yourself to people who will never understand your fire. You stop defending your dreams to minds too small to imagine them. You stop begging for validation from those who fear their own greatness. You become invisible, but unstoppable. There will be nights when your phone doesn't buzz, when your friends forget, when you feel like the world moved on without you. Good. That's your sign you're doing something right. Every legend disappeared before they became who they were meant to be. Steve Jobs disappeared from Apple. Elon Musk disappeared from parties. Einstein disappeared from ordinary schools. Hill himself disappeared into 25 years of research before writing Think and Grow Rich. The world calls it loneliness. The wise call it incubation. The longer you stay hidden in purpose, the stronger you become. Because the quieter your environment, the louder your intuition. Psychologically, solitude rewires your brain. In silence, the mind releases stress and expands awareness. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for focus and decision-making, becomes sharper. In short, silence multiplies clarity. Napoleon Hill didn't have social media, but his principle applies perfectly today. He warned about the drifting mind, one that goes wherever distractions pull it. To escape that drift, he taught definiteness of purpose, the ability to control your focus. When you disappear, you kill drift. You replace it with design. You start choosing thoughts instead of absorbing them. The modern world celebrates visibility, but the universe rewards vibration. Disappearing isn't easy. It means saying no when everyone else says yes. It means waking early, working silently, learning relentlessly. You'll crave attention. You'll crave validation. But each time you resist, you're building power. Hill said, "Self-discipline begins with the mastery of your thoughts. When you master silence, you master thought. When you master thought, you master results. Because when you disappear from the noise outside, you finally hear the signal inside. When you reappear, and you will, you'll notice the world differently. You'll speak less but mean more. You'll walk slower but move further. You'll care less about followers and more about fulfillment. People will say you've changed, and they'll be right. Because you'll be unrecognizable. You'll no longer chase what they chase. You'll attract. You'll create. You'll command." Napoleon Hill called it organized effort toward a definite end. Your life will no longer be random. It will be intentional, aligned, inevitable. You disappeared to remember who you were. Now you return to show what's possible. And one day you'll disappear for the last time. Not from social media, not from society, but from existence itself. And when that day comes, you'll look back and realize you never truly lived until you learned to disappear. Because disappearing isn't about leaving the world. It's about leaving behind the version of yourself that was never alive in the first place. So disappear now, while you still have time. Disappear into your purpose. Disappear into your growth. Disappear into your greatness. And when the world asks, "Where did you go?" you'll smile quietly and say, "I went to build myself."